Well, if you fail to furnish the report under Form 3 CEB, there could be a minimum penalty of INR 1 lakh or so. Well, Form 3 CEB under transfer pricing regulations is filed by any company along with Form 3 CD under Section 92A to 92F of Income Tax Act. Now, these sections are pertaining to transfer pricing regulations, and it is mandatory to file if the company is indulging in any kind of international transactions with the associated enterprises. Like any other regulation, transfer pricing regulation also has two preconditions which needs to be fulfilled. One is that there has to be two or more associated enterprises entering into these international transactions, and secondly, there has to be some sort of specified domestic transactions which came into force since assessment year 2013-14. Well, international transactions are the transactions between two or more associated enterprises, either or both of whom being non residents, and the nature of such transactions would be that of a purchase, sale, lease of the property, provision of services, or any lending or borrowing of money, and having an impact on the profit, losses, income of the business, and there has to be a mutual agreement between these two or more associated enterprises. Well, that is what the international transaction is all about. Well, there are certain conditions that need to be fulfilled in order to classify the transactions as specified domestic transaction. Number one, the transaction should not be of the nature of an international transaction. Second, the transaction should be covered under Section 92BA. And third, the aggregate of such transactions entered into by the taxpayer should exceed the threshold limit of INR 20 crores. Well, the Form 3 CEB needs to be filed by every person or the company who are indulging in the international transactions with two or more associated enterprises in the previous year. Now, this transaction need to be filed under a specific format before a specified date. An accountant has to prepare the format and need to furnish such information. And all the enterprises or the companies or the individuals indulging in such kind of international transactions or specified domestic transactions need to file this Form 3 CEB. So, what is the information that is required to file under this Form 3 CEB? Well, it is divided into three parts. Part A, general information has to be provided by the taxpayer about itself and also about the aggregate value of the transactions of international transactions and specified domestic transactions. Part B, wherein details of all the international transactions entered into the financial year needs to be furnished. Part C, details of the specified domestic transactions that has been incurred in the financial year needs to be furnished. Well, the due date for filing a report of the international transaction and the specified domestic transaction is 30th November every year. Well, if you fail to furnish the report under Form 3 CEB, there could be a minimum penalty of INR 1 lakh or so. If you also fail to furnish the details of the international transaction or specified transaction under this Form 3 CEB, there could be a penalty of 2% of the value of the aggregate transactions. So it's better to file the form before the specified date under the specified format. So I hope this video was useful to you and you could take an informative decision about the same. If you have liked this video, please go and hit the like button, subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. Till then, take care and be safe.